You ever live somewhere that just feels wrong? Not haunted, not cursed, just wrong. That's how my uncle's old farmhouse felt. He left it to me when he passed away last year. Middle of nowhere, long dirt road, a house that creaked even when there was no wind. I thought it'd be peaceful, a quiet place to reset my life. But that was before the knocking started.
The first few days were fine. Dusty rooms, old wallpaper, but nothing unusual. The basement, though, that was different. The door was heavy, metal, painted gray, and across it, scratched deep into the wood frame, were 4 words: "Don't answer the basement door."
At first, I thought it was a joke. Maybe my uncle was losing it before he died. But he'd always been sharp, and the basement door had 3 separate locks. Padlock, deadbolt, chain, all on the outside. Whatever he was keeping down there, he didn't want it getting out.
One night, around 2:30 a.m., I woke up thirsty, went downstairs for water. As I passed the kitchen, I heard it. Knock, knock, knock. Slow, deep, coming from the basement. I froze. The sound came again. 3 knocks, then silence.
I told myself it was pipes, or maybe an animal. But when I pressed my ear to the basement door, I heard something breathing.
In the morning, I decided to call the local sheriff. He said animals sometimes got into the foundation and to just keep the door shut. But when I checked again, the padlock was open, the chain unhooked, and the word "don't" was freshly carved again, deeper, sharper. That evening, my friend Mark came over to help. We joked about it at first. He said, "Maybe your uncle was hiding gold down there." I laughed, but uneasily. We both felt the air shift the closer we got to that door. Colder, thicker, like walking into a freezer. He knocked once, just once, and something knocked back. We both stepped away. Then we heard a whisper from behind the door. "Who's there?" Mark said, "Probably Echo," but his voice cracked when he said it.
That
We
night,
decided to
I was
not
half
touch it
asleep
again.
when I heard footsteps, slow ones, coming up the basement stairs, then a soft tap, tap, tap on the metal door, and a voice. "Please, open up." It was Mark's voice, but Mark had gone home hours ago.
I grabbed my phone, called him immediately. He answered, sleepy. "What, dude? It's 3 a.m. I stared at the basement door. The voice on the other side said, "Come on, man, I forgot my phone." My heart dropped because I was holding Mark's phone. He'd left it on the counter before he left. I whispered into the phone, "Mark, are you sure you're home right now?" He said, "Yeah, why?" Before I could answer, the voice behind the door whispered, "He's lying." Then, bang! Something slammed against the door so hard the hinges rattled. Then again, and again. I ran upstairs and locked myself in my room. The banging stopped after a while, but I could still hear faint footsteps pacing below me. When the sun came up, I checked the door. The locks were gone. Not broken, just gone, like they'd never been there. And etched into the metal now were 5 words. "Don't answer next time." I started digging into my uncle's past. Found his old journals in the attic. The last few entries made my stomach twist. It knocks again every night. It knows my voice now. If anyone finds this, don't listen to it. The basement door doesn't keep things out. It keeps them in. That night, I set up my phone to record, propped it facing the basement door, left it running while I slept upstairs. When I watched the footage the next morning, my blood ran cold. At exactly 3 a.m., the door handle turned, slowly. Then a hand, gray, thin, human, slid out from the crack and waved at the camera. And then it looked right at the lens, smiled. I deleted the video immediately, but I could still picture that face, like a human stretched wrong. Eyes too wide, skin too pale. And its smile? It looked relieved. The next night, I tried sleeping with headphones in. Didn't help. At 3:17 a.m., I woke up anyway, because something was whispering my name. "Daniel. Daniel. Let me out." It sounded like my uncle's voice this time. "You're not supposed to be here." I grabbed my flashlight, went downstairs, half angry, half terrified. And then I saw it. The basement door was open. The air coming from below was freezing, and it smelled like rot and rust. I shined my flashlight down the stairs. The light only went halfway, the rest was pure black. And from that darkness, I saw something move.
Something crawling. Fast.
I slammed the door shut and threw the locks back on. Then I heard scratching from the other side. Claws. Nails? I couldn't tell. Then the voice changed again. "Thank you for locking it." I froze. "You're smarter than he was."
The scratching stopped. Silence. I backed away slowly. But then 3 loud knocks. Hard enough to make the frame shake. Bang, bang, bang. And that same voice whispered, "Now it's your turn." The next morning, the door was covered in handprints, dozens of them, some large, some small. And carved beneath the knob were new words. Someone always answers.
I called a locksmith. He refused to touch the door. He said, "If this is the Miller farmhouse, I can't help you." I asked why. He told me his father used to work for my uncle, and that years ago, a family disappeared here. They were found weeks later, in the basement. All the doors had been locked from the inside. That night, I decided to leave. Packed a bag, grabbed my keys, but just as I reached for the front door, I heard it. That knock again. From the basement. 3 slow knocks. Knock, knock, knock. Then my uncle's voice, calm, gentle. "Don't go. I need your help."
I didn't move, didn't breathe. "Please," it said. "I'm hurt." The sound of dragging, something pulling itself up the stairs. The door creaked. The chain stretched. And then a hand, gray, rotting, slipped out from the crack, grabbing the bottom step. I screamed, ran outside, and didn't stop until dawn.
When I came back later that morning with the sheriff, the basement door was wide open, empty. But on the floor, written in dust, were the words, "He let it out."
I moved out that day. Sold the house. A few months later, a new family moved in. Young couple. 2 kids. I didn't tell them anything. Didn't warn them. They say some doors are meant to stay closed. But what if the real mistake is building a house around one?
Horror story and clear confident. Knock, knock, knock. Are you home?